The Could Be Better podcast network is sponsored in part by the Frederick Let There Be Rock School. Let There Be Rock School, located in Frederick, provides a world renowned music lesson program and an unparalleled after school rock and roll community center. Listeners can now get their first lesson free when you tell them Could Be Better sent you. Visit www.frederickrockschool.com and click the contact button in the top right hand corner of the page to get yourself started.
Again, listeners of the show get their first lesson free if you tell them Could Be Better sent you. It's not too late or too early to learn your favorite Olivia Rodrigo, Dragon Force, or the Black Keys song. So go now to www.frederickrockschool.com and reach out today for your first free lesson. This is the Could Be Better Sessions with Jack Funk, brought to you by Old Mother Brewing Company.
Yeah, that was a good pause.
It's a great pause.
That was a good pause. This is my favorite thing. This has become my favorite thing.
Pretty good.
There's another pause.
I'm fighting every urge in the world because we could have, if you would have been like, yeah, that's good, I would have stopped the recording. That would have been it.
We could have, yeah, but we're still here, so we might as well talk.
Yeah. These songs sound awesome. And I think it's the first bass that we've had in the Could Be Better studios, and it sounds really good.
This was a real mix. Like we had a separate bass track and separate guitar track and all that. I mean, for those who think it's just easy to throw up a couple mics and get a sound, it's really not all that easy. You know that, Chris. You've done a lot of that.
I mean, kind of, but like I just tell people, yeah, we don't mic anything here because we just don't. And then people go, oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah, that sounds good. And then that's it. So I just don't mic stuff.
Well, that's fair, but this time we mic stuff. And this was I don't know what you think of Jack Funk, but we should at least put the history of this out there. The week that they were going not they were going to, they actually did, they had their single release party, and that single, you can hear, it's Beat City Shakedown. That's the name of the song that you can hear in these Could Be Better sessions. They came in and they did or half the band, two of the four came in and did an acoustic performance of Beat City Shakedown. And of course, there was another song they put out. This was months and months ago. I think, Chris, you had saw this forever ago. The cooked meat mushrooms song. I'm not exactly sure what the name of the song is, but I know they had a video for it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, it's like there's this interesting not renaissance, but maybe a resurgence of just funk music in Frederick, and it's been kind of cool. And Jack Funk, and obviously, friend of the show Natalie Brooke has been a part of that, and it's been cool to see the funk getting Jackie with it and playing all sorts of shows and doing all sorts of things. And it was great that Nick wanted to kind of push it and come to us and do it, and so you got to talk to them a little bit in the paper, right? And then got to do some stuff.
This all came from when they had the week that they released the single, the Beat City Shakedown. They played at Bushwallers, and
did you know the kids refer to that now as bushies?
I did not.
How does it make you feel on the inside?
Well,
queasy.
That's like, I've had the Taco Bell nacho fries without the nacho, but we were talking about this, and I do want to I want to at least shout this out, even though I don't think this made it into the paper. The band that opened for Jack Funk that night at Bushwallers was I think it's Nick's brother, who's based out of Pittsburgh and has a really, really cool band. And I cannot think of the name of that band to save my life right now. So I apologize. If you just go Google Nick's brother from Jack Funk at couldbebetter.ck, you should definitely find it. But he he was part of that. I know Nick was really excited to have him play that night with them. I
Fermented
also
beets.
Oh, is
Fermented
that it?
beets.
Okay.
Yeah. And it actually looks like it was Jack Funk with fermented beets. So maybe that was like a whole thing. Yes, here it is. Because this is a special show because the first time ever, the Ring brothers, Nick and Trevor, will be bringing their bands to share an epic evening of music. So yeah, if you were there, you know how special it was.
And I feel bad. I had told Nick that I would go to that show. I did not show up. I ended up being out of town. It was actually a last minute thing. I felt bad
Mm.
about that, but I did not go. I don't think you went. Did you go, Chris?
No, no, no. I'm taking a page out of the book called Gin Blossoms, where you talk a lot about music and you actually don't do any of it. Like,
Did you listen to
oh,
that?
yeah,
Did you
it
listen
wasn't.
to the it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
awkward. It was
It
cringy.
it was not that bad actually. I listened to it. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. And the only because like I knew a little, you told me the stories and told me like what happened, and I was like, oh, that does sound kind of bad. And it's not that those things didn't happen. I guess I'm just used to like more cringe than that. So it's kind of like, oh, that wasn't that bad. So listeners, I mean, people texted you and said, hey, that was great. So it's like that's cool. So maybe people actually liked it. So maybe we need to do more cringe. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think more cringe is better.
Ugh, hard pass. Because maybe what I think is cringe, people are like, that's not bad either. So maybe our cringe
Yeah.
filters are
Well,
off.
here's what I would say to you though. If you listen to that, or if anybody listening listened to that, and if you put yourself in my shoes, trying to get something out of the guitar player from the Jim Blossoms, just anything out of it, like, hey man, how's the tour? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, how's the tour? And he's like, yeah.
Who are you again? Dude,
Right.
he's burnt. He's burnt out. I get it. It's like there's probably a reason why nobody from Fish or Grateful Dead do interviews. Like
That's not
uh,
true. Trey Anastasio sits, and this is a perfect time to talk about it because I know the Jack Funk guys like Fish, and like this is a perfect episode for that.
mhm.
Trey will sit for interviews. He's talked. Have
Mm,
you ever read any of those? Because he struggles, man. I have a
no.
lot of respect for Trey Anastasio.
No, I don't know anything about Fish except for their Ben and Jerry's ice cream and that they play Madison Square Gardens all the time. And what are
Did
they?
you say Madison Square Gardens?
Yeah,
Is it
Garden.
what? Yeah, it's garden. Gardens.
they
What are
they
they
play the
growing this season? Is it peppers?
no. Well, I mean, if it's fish, they're growing fish, dude. But I
Okay.
mean, like at a certain point, it's like, hey, well, so I made a joke about it today, at work, and then said, yeah, they're really talented, but I just can't get into it. So it's like it's cool, but like fish isn't for me.
I
But
don't like seafood.
yeah, well, some people are allergic. But do you know what people are not allergic to? Live music, which you can check out on our website at couldbebettermeh.com. And you can see all the shows that we have coming up. By the time this is out, we're at actually the peak of spooky season.
Well, yeah,
Um,
it's Thursday. We're recording this on Monday. We can pull the curtain back. It's Thursday.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you have what's today's date?
We have today's the 23rd, and Thursday is a couple days from now, which is
The
the
27th?
26th. 26th.
26th?
So we got a couple things until I mean it'll be early November, by the time our next episode comes out, and it's gonna be great. We got some special guests coming up. You've heard his voice a bunch, and we're excited for you to hear it. But we got 4 shows left for the year, and boy, am I tired. But
I bet you are.
do you know what I'm not tired of?
Specialties.
Jack Funk,
No.
baby.
Oh, yeah. And actually, Jack Funk's playing around town. You were telling me this last weekend when we talked. They got some shows on the docket, right? Where are they playing? They're going to be at NOLA, or they had been at
So
NOLA.
yeah, exactly it. They were at NOLA on Friday. You and I also didn't go to that show, but I didn't tell them I was going to be there. So but the
This is why Nick
27th,
has blocked my number. Yeah.
no, he loves you. they're playing the Cemetery Ball on Friday, October
Oh,
27th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with friends of the show, Marshall Fuzz.
and we should
And
talk about that. Well, go ahead.
yeah, and they're playing Friday, November 17th for all of our listeners, friends, family, relatives up in Frostburg. Jack Funk are also at the Deep End on November 17th at 8 p.m. So go check those out. But yeah, Colin, let's wrap this up and tell us about I guess so the Cemetery Ball is going to be that really cool event with Marshall Fuzz at the Frederick Recording Studio by our friends in specialties, but it's Marshall Fuzz, Jack Funk, the themes, toaster, hyphen, hongos, something in small font, and which way. Costume contest with prizes sponsored by the Record Exchange and Classic Electric Tattoo. How cool is that?
This Thursday, the day this episode drops, as the kids say, also will drop an interview I recently did with Suli from Marshall Fuzz, who put this Halloween thing together. It's $5 if you have a costume. It's $10 if you don't. They're going to have a costume contest. It's going to be this big thing, and it's a brand new venue. They're trying to make this venue work, right? So everybody should support it. Like, let's not fuck around with that. That's the truth, man. Go out. Go check these bands out. Jack Funk is going to play. Marshall Fudge is going to play. I'm going dressed as you.
That's actually why I shaved. So a lot of people have been upset. Pretty much everybody but my wife has been really upset that I don't have a mustache anymore.
Oh,
my butthole. But I shaved my mustache.
Just gave me,
and everybody was like, "Yeah, what happened?" I was like, "Well, I'm getting ready for my Halloween costume. I'm going as Colin McGuire." So it's crazy though. I got to start like getting a haircut, and that's gonna be my next thing. Glasses are already in the mail.
So this will be the last thing I say before we get out of this. I mixed oh no. I mixed the Stitch Early episodes, peek behind the curtain, and I listened to a good portion of the interview he did with you, and you lied about my reaction to being the first interviewed, because I never said that I was offended. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I do. I'm just trying to figure out how much I should say, because you weren't necessarily like offended, but you're like, oh, I get it. You're like, I'm the opener for you. Like, you literally had that thought process, because in my brain I was like, well, of course Colin's first. Like, totally.
Well,
like
I love Stitch's response, which was like, of course Colin would do that.
Would look at it that way. I was like, yeah. And I think the joke we said was like glass half full. So I was like, yeah, that's totally it. But it was like, no, it was I was honored to be on. To be pulling back the curtain even more, I've been so overwhelmed the last 7 days, pretty much since I taped with Stitch. It's been like a whirlwind pretty much Monday to Monday, because I recorded it last Sunday right after the show. It's like we had 2 shows at Old Mother that weekend, podcast with Stitch, crazy week, and then 2 shows Friday night at Old Mother, which was awesome. It was Tending to the Corpses, it was Delenda, it was this other band, and then Half Heard Voices, and it was awesome. Had a great time. And then it was like doing sound on Saturday for the anniversary show with Country Dan and the Sidewinders. It was great. And then Sunday, it's like, oh man, it's just so many things. And then tracking with Sam Pow is what we did on Sunday. So it was like, that was cool. And then it's like, today is Monday, and it's like, man, I was on Stitch's podcast and had a great time. Stitch had a really cool episode. We had a really cool episode last week, and like we got to get into some stuff. I'm like, man, I'm gonna post about it, and then I just haven't. And so for people that are listening to this show, I was on Stitch's episode last week, and it was a great time. And for people that are tuning in just to hear Jack Funk, you're like, why are these guys continuing to talk when there was that dramatic pause at the beginning? And they probably should have just played the music. I know our executive producer said, keep going. You guys miss each other, so let's keep talking. So I am exhausted, and I'm happy to be here, and I miss you, and I'm glad you returned safe from the land from far away. And
I miss you too. And now here comes Jack Funk. These are performances that I love with my heart. These guys came in, they did a great job. If
Mhm.
you want to know anything more about them, check out the interview that ran in the paper a couple weeks ago. If you want to know even more, check out those shows that Chris just said a couple minutes ago. We love Jack Funk. Thank you so much for coming through. And here are the songs.
City shakedown is universal breakdown. Shakedown, breakdown. I wanna act like them big boys and girls saying, hey baby, you wanna get down, get down, get down. Beat City shakedown. Such a beautiful breakdown. Shake it down, break it down. Wanna get rich and beautiful. Take all we can and never get enough. Dance and sing for oh, there we know now. City breakdown, this universal breakdown. These buildings, bricks and rolls, yeah, yeah. Elevator bringing faces to the party. Elevator falling back down to the ground. We're trying to stop time while waiting for tomorrow. Beat City breakdown. Boom, boom. Move, 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 move. And stomp on them ruins like we're trying to make wine. Then kick like a matchstick too. Spark the world now.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Special Tees. Are you in a band that wants merch but does not know where to go? Are you looking for great quality and affordable pricing? Do you have a design that you'd like to put on a koozie for your favorite consumable beverage? How about office swag for your job or giveaway items for all of your events? Okay, you get the point now, but you have to look no further than Special Tees for all your heart's printing desires. The Could Be Better podcast listeners can act now and get 10% of your first order if you tell them Could Be Better sent you. Visit their website at www.special-tees.com or use the link in the show notes to get the conversation started. You can even call ahead and visit their showroom to see all types of products, everything that they offer. Again, telling them Could Be Better sent you via email, phone call, or carrier pigeon. It'll get you 10% off your first order. That's www.special-tees.com. Special Tees. If you haven't worked with them, they want to work with you.
on fire, send it to hell. Cooked meat, mushrooms, and fire. Cooked meat, mushrooms, and fire. Check out my tools, there can be weapons too. Come to think of it, I don't like you, man. So get off of my land, don't make me draw lines in the sand and make you understand me. Cooked meat, mushrooms, and fire. Because we rule the world and we don't give a damn. We're just better and that is all I am, yeah, yeah. Because we rule the world and we don't give a damn. We're just better and that is all I am, yeah, yeah. Cooked meat, mushrooms, and fire. Fungus is fun, guys. Let's eat some more. I think I found God up in the sky. Yes, I did. She told me I was chosen, no, not you, but me, oh me. It was all there written on a cave wall. Cooked meat, mushrooms, and fire. Because we rule the world and we don't give a damn. We're just better and that is all I am, yeah, yeah. Because we rule the world and we don't give a damn. We're just better and that is all I am, yeah, yeah.
The Could Be Better podcast was recorded at the Could Be Better Studios somewhere in the middle of Maryland.
This state-of-the-art facility has welcomed in everyone from Ringo Starr to 50 Cent, and it can accommodate all of your podcast needs.
What?
Never mind. If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram, Facebook Threads, and Zanga. Do not forget to check out our website, www.couldbebettermeh.com.
Also, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts if you want to make sure we come back for a fourth season, or don't, and maybe we'll listen to you.
Well, plus don't forget to check out all of our brother and sister podcasts exclusively within the Could Be Better network.
And if all else fails, hey, at least come out to a show every now and then.
Wait, we do shows?
This is so much fun. I'm Chris Perry.
And I'm Colin McGuire. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. And don't forget, this could always be better.
The Could Be Better podcast is proud to be a part of the Could Be Better podcast network. We're passionate about creating and using these platforms to dive into topics such as exploring lo-fi, impulsive, small, and otherwise overlooked artworks and creative practices, what happened in the world this week and how to laugh through or at it, and hearing stories from musicians of all walks of life. Check out these podcasts, Could Be Better podcast, This Is Not My Magnum Opus, The Weekly with Kiki, and a brand new show with Stitcherly called The Population, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can visit couldbebettermeh.com/podcasts in the show notes to see the current shows on the Could Be Better podcast network. Let's hang out as we figure out more about ourselves, the community around us, and why Ted Lasso is the greatest show of all time.